everybody. This is the first episode of Mondays with Mom. I'm Kentucky Ranger. This is my lovely mother, Marie, or Mildred. I don't know whichever. What do you want me to call you? Marie. Okay.
81.
Huh?
I'm 81.
81. 81 years young. And that's Dolly. Can we see Dolly? Yeah, we can see Dolly. So anyway, this being the first episode, I guess we'll start from the very beginning. Tell us where you were born.
Well,
What year?
In 1936, I was born in Saltville, Virginia.
Yeah. The hospital, at home?
I think I was at the hospital. I'm really not sure.
Well, yeah, you was a little young back then. So tell us what it was like growing up in Saltville, Virginia.
Well, Saltville, Virginia is a beautiful town.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah.
I'd love to go visit. I have a friend on Facebook that puts on different stories that's happened back even before I was born.
Well, cool.
And he puts pictures on there.
Yeah.
Of Saltville, and I still, my heart is in Saltville, Virginia.
Yeah. So, how many siblings you got? How many brothers and sisters?
5.
5.
They're all gone except my sister
Except for
Jenny.
your sister. Glad that's turned off. Yeah, Jenny's the last one. So you had, the rest of them were all brothers.
Yeah, they're four brothers.
4 brothers and a sister. And yeah, just tell me so growing up there in Virginia, how many years did you live there before you all got separated? Because I know there was a time you all got separated.
Well, I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
My mother abandoned us.
Yeah.
And I took my sister Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
She's 2 years younger than me, and my little brother, he was about 3. And I carried him up to my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
And we all got separated at that time.
What year was that?
Well, I was 7, so I was born in 36.
So it was in the early 40s?
In 43.
43?
Yeah,
Okay.
1943.
So you went to your grandmother's house.
Yeah, and...
So what happened to the rest of your brothers? Where did they go?
Well, for some reason, my brothers, they went to my dad's family.
Well,
And me and my sister Jenny and little James, I always call him.
mm-hmm.
We got dumped back onto my mother, and she didn't like that.
Oh, Lord.
And so she met this woman, Faye. Faye Reed was her name. And Faye took us in, and she started giving us to different people.
So you just sort of went here and there and
Yeah,
everywhere, where whoever would let you sleep on the couch or the floor. That's
Right.
where you went, Lord.
Right.
How many years did that go on?
Well, until I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother came down in West Virginia and got me.
Well.
And then I was reunited with my sister Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
And so the rest is history.
Well, no. Well, I know to you the rest is history. The people here don't. They
That's
don't
true.
know the history.
I got
Because
a job.
you were a like a live-in maid or something for the
At the Campbells.
Campbells.
Yeah. And I was there for 7 years, and even though
Were they like a
was,
wealthy family or?
Well, kinda. He worked for the newspaper
Uh-huh.
in the Akron Beacon Journal
Mm-hmm.
at one time, I think, and then he got on with
So in all the time
Goodyear.
that went on, now you're in Akron, Ohio now.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
fast forward, now you're living in Akron, Ohio.
Right.
Okay.
And Anyway, although they treated me like a slave,
Yeah.
I have to thank her a lot because she started teaching me
How to
things
cook and different
because
things,
I
right?
was not able to go to school,
Right.
but she taught me
Well,
an awful lot
did you ever go to public school
for 3
for
years.
3 years? So what, it was like the kindergarten to the third
Well,
grade?
they
or-
didn't have kindergarten back then.
Oh, okay.
It was first, second,
So first,
third.
so it's first, second, third grade.
But I was in the 6th grade when I quit because I got double promoted all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's one thing I got, and that's probably where I get my brains from.
Well, thank you.
Oh Lord, they're back. Okay.
Okay, where were we?
Now, yeah, we were so rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
Okay, you were in Akron, started working for the Campbells. Now, how did you meet the Campbells?
Threw an ad in the paper.
Ad in the paper.
Uh-huh.
So would you call on them, or?
Yeah. I don't know whose phone I used because we didn't have a phone.
You sure didn't have a cell phone back then.
And I used the bus to go. How I ever managed to do
I
that.
said she went to a city payphone.
Yeah, probably.
They had them all over the place back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I lied to her. I told her I was 16.
Right.
But
And
I
how
was
old?
really 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved out of your mother's and you moved in with them.
Right.
So they had like, what, you have like your own bedroom?
Kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Okay, well, explain what was it? Was it a room?
Yeah, it was in the basement.
Oh Lord, you was in the basement for 7
But
years.
it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I
it
just
really
yeah,
wasn't.
but not all basements are.
Yeah,
Horrible.
because
Just every time you hear somebody, I live in the basement, it's like, ooh,
yeah,
that's crazy.
it was pretty bright down there. But
Oh, okay.
the bad part of that is they raised Boston Terriers, and I had to take care of them.
Oh Lord,
And they had them in cages in the
in
basement.
the basement.
It was an old concrete basement. I was down there one time.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were.
Yes, I was.
But
And
it
it was
had
no
living.
finished. It wasn't a living situation.
But
Because I was down
room,
there.
the room that I
So did you have like a bed and stuff down
yeah,
there?
and a dresser.
Okay.
It had a room
Was-
way in the back. I don't know if you ever seen that, Sherry.
What?
Back the room back behind the furnace.
No, the only thing I can remember is all them dog cages. He didn't have dogs no more. The cages was still there.
Yeah,
Well,
that's when Mrs. Campbell died.
so you lived there for 7 years. Now they give you board. How much do they pay you a week? They
Well, they're supposed to pay me $17.50 every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
But
Now,
after
granted, everybody, that was back in the what, late 40s,
50s,
early 50s. Okay.
yeah.
It's a lot of, that's pretty good money back then.
But
But-
after I was there for a while,
They
though,
stopped paying
they
you.
stopped paying me.
Oh, Lord.
And when I was at 17, 18, I
Mhm.
started to rebel.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And but I finally got away from there when I was turned 21. And
So what was life like living with them? Was it extremely restrictive, or
yeah, it was
were you
very.
allowed to do anything, go out? And,
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
See,
you
she
weren't
was
allowed?
bedridden, and I had to wait on her. But she really wasn't. It was all in her head
oh, okay.
because she wanted
So they wouldn't
people to
let
wait on
you have any kind of a social life.
her.
Oh, Lord
Didn't you
have
try to get away from there once and she scared you, threatened you or something, you went back?
Yeah, said she's gonna call the cops on me.
mercy. Lord have mercy. So she eventually passed away. What did she die of?
I have no idea, but I stayed in contact with them.
No. Now you
because-
left before she passed away, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you and Cherie was born by that time.
Oh,
You was a baby, and I took
So when you-
and
when you-
Cherie over there.
Lord, I can't remember that. But so did you leave? What was it, like you met Dad and you moved out, or
No,
you moved out and met Dad, or?
No, I met this guy,
Uh huh.
he was nice to me, but
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in love with him. But I seen
Yeah.
a way out.
You seen a way out, yeah.
So
Hey, there's no shame in
I
that.
told her that I got married.
Oh.
So
Hey, any port in a storm.
yeah. So I moved.
So
out.
what, did you move in with him, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
and so I met your dad, and so I left him.
And moved in with Dad.
Well, your dad
She's
was
leaving
in.
out a part.
What's that?
Her and that guy had actually had plans on renting this other place, and before they got back there, they had rented it, so they ended up taking a place on Sherman Street right next to Marg.
Yeah, and so. It
Oh,
was-
so that's how you met Dad,
Yeah,
through Mark.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Air Force at that time, wasn't he? Okay.
he was home on leave.
Home on leave.
Yeah, so we didn't get married at that time, but I got out away from all of
Yeah,
that.
you got out away from,
And then
yeah.
I got a job working at the Gourmet,
Oh, okay.
and I got me an apartment.
Yeah, so you pretty much just kind of got out on your own.
Yeah,
So how much did the diner pay you a week? Or every 2 weeks, or
50 cents an hour.
50 cents an hour? Like I say, kids hear that, they'd be like, 50 cents an hour?
That's
And
what I
now they're
got.
complaining, well, I want $15 an hour.
I worked in a movie theater back in 1976 for 50 cents an hour.
Wow.
So they still, even in the 70s, wasn't paying a whole lot.
Oh, I remember that movie theater. You and Lolita worked there, didn't
Yeah,
you? Yeah.
up in Burns.
I can't think of the name of it, but so you got your own apartment. How long do you live in the apartment before you and Dad got together?
Well, he went back overseas,
Mm-hmm.
and
Now this was during the Korean War.
No,
no,
Oh, wasn't it? Oh, Korean War hadn't started yet?
no, the Korean War was from like 51 to 53.
yeah.
Oh, so it
was
hadn't
over.
started yet. Okay.
Yeah, it was the Vietnam War.
No, that's
Well,
after the Korean War.
Okay, that's
Yeah, she's all the way up
So
to 19...
he joined the Air Force before the Korean War.
yeah,
No,
yeah. But he was
the
in
Korean War had already been
Already
going on
started.
Right.
for several months when he
Okay.
joined in 51.
Oh, so yeah, he did join because Korean War had
during.
just begun.
Yeah.
It's the most forgotten war. Most people, Korean
Yeah.
War, we was never at war with Korea. Oh, yes, we were.
Right.
And I'm not
Yeah.
exactly for sure what year the Vietnam War started. It was either the early 60s or late 50s. I'm not
The late
Yeah.
50s. And,
But he
That's one
he
of the
wasn't
reasons.
involved in that.
well, no, he got out of the Air Force because he seen what was getting ready to happen.
But he
Yeah.
he was in there part of it because he didn't get out till 66.
Right. Yeah, but he got out because he seen the handwriting on the wall. He'd
Yeah.
already been through the Korean War, and he seen what was happening in Vietnam. He says, I don't
Yeah.
want no part of that. So, which is sad because he had a 14-year career that,
Well, it
but
just,
I'd have done the same thing if I was him.
it kept us apart.
Yeah.
He never really
Well,
got to bond with you. And
Well, no, I
Sheree.
remember the stories about, I was like almost a year old the first time he seen me.
Right.
I don't
Of
think
course,
there was
I-
any bonding to Dad. I really don't. Even if he had never been in the Air Force,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Right, but anyway.
Well,
yeah.
the statements he always used to make, I'm so misunderstood. He bonded in his own way.
Yeah,
Might not have been the way, that we appreciated.
Donald don't remember this because he was so little, but me and you and Donald, that was the most peaceful years that we spent was between 1960 and 66 when he was gone so much.
yeah,
Oh, I don't know.
But you were too little to remember that.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, we had fun.
yeah.
I'll never
But,
forget you wanted me to put a perm in your hair.
Lord
You
have
was
mercy.
4 years old.
I can
Yeah.
still remember that. You ought to seen what she did to my hair.
But you wanted me to. And when it was done, me and you just laughed and laughed and laughed over that.
Well, anyway, because let's get back to the chronology of this. So, what year did you and Dad get married?
1958,
58.
September 12th, 1958.
And you got married in Akron. You get married in a church, or?
No, it was at his friend's house.
Oh, because I remember the pictures. I don't remember a church.
Wasn't it Joan and Jim Waters?
Yes,
Oh, Walters.
yeah,
Isn't he the one who committed suicide? Who am I thinking of?
no,
Oh, well, never mind. That's a different story for a
Yeah,
different day. Lord have
that's a
mercy.
completely different story.
So he got out of the Air Force.
Became a truck driver.
And became, well, yeah, but before he became a truck driver, there was a short stint there where
Yeah, he worked for a finance company.
worked for a fine. He was a repo man.
Yeah.
Then he
I was
applied to
with
be a
him.
state trooper, and he didn't pass the test because they asked him, "What would you do if somebody spit in your face?" And I guess he said I'd beat him with the billy club. See, yeah, he started driving a truck for Consolidated Freightways,
Right,
Akron, Ohio. He ran team. So, there again, he was gone all the time,
all the time.
and
Then we moved to Utah.
moved to Utah. Well, let's delve more into the years in Akron.
Well,
What all, because like what would we do, like, during summer and stuff like that? I think, see, I was extremely young, and so was Cherie. So I don't think we went. What was it, Cedar Point?
yeah.
I think it's still there. It's a huge,
Yeah, I
huge
remember
amusement park now.
Going
But
to
I
Cedar
remember
Point.
I remember you guys. We was there, and I kept lagging behind. What was, you tied a helium balloon around my wrist or something so you could keep track of me. And me and Cherie, the sibling rivalry and all that. But y'all let me lag behind, and then Cherie noticed I was missing, and she just had a conniption fit.
Oh, that's
like-
when we were in Utah at a department store.
No, it was Cedar Point, wasn't it?
No, you're forgetting about the time
It
that
was Cedar Point, wasn't it?
Donald was lagging behind in his
Yeah,
diaper,
Yeah,
and you was acting like we were gonna
I'm gonna
leave,
leave.
and I started screaming.
Yeah, you had a
Oh,
conniption
yeah.
fit over it. Oh, you leave my brother.
Yeah, I started screaming.
Yeah.
So, Cedar Point, that was kind of like like every summer we'd have to go at least once or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we took you to an amusement park once a year.
Yeah. And, trying to think, do you remember what kind of car we used to have back then? I remember it was a great big old car. I can't remember.
68 Chevy.
68 Chevy?
something like that.
No,
It was a
older than
Chevy.
that. It kept breaking down all the time. I remember, those are the vague memories when I was a small child. I remember it was always
that
breaking down.
The first car that we owned, I think, was an Oldsmobile.
Oldsmobile.
That's the one. That's the one that's. There's a picture of me standing.
Yeah.
behind it.
Broke down all the time. It was always breaking down.
But that one that we took to Utah was a 60
Yes,
something.
that was a 66 Impala.
That was
Gertrude.
Chevy.
Yeah, it's Chevy Impala.
No, go lay
Yeah, when we
down.
moved to Utah, we packed everything up, whatever we could take, and then
Trunk.
headed for Utah.
Yeah.
Then we spent, 2 months at the World Motel. It's not there anymore, so
No, they tore it down years ago.
tore it down completely. Yeah, I'll just,
Okay, we moved to Utah too
okay.
quick.
Yeah, we let's not move to Utah, right?
Okay,
Because
let's
there's
go
a lot
back.
there's a lot of going on there in Akron, Ohio.
Yeah.
One thing that happened is you ended up having an aneurysm,
Right. I had an aneurysm.
and it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
She started doing really strange things.
It started acting really odd.
She went up in the attic and she painted about 5 or 6 different colors and didn't even do a good job of it. She just like slapped it on there, like really weird.
I tell you, trauma of the brain is.
And she was having
strange.
People-
severe.
What's like? I tell you what, the crazy guy. I can't think of his name. The one that was at the Texas clock tower that was shooting at people.
I just saw a video of him yesterday.
Well, they did an autopsy on him, and he had a brain tumor.
He had a tumor.
Yeah,
Horrible
that's
brain
right.
tumor.
He
I
left.
remember
He
that.
left a note, requesting an autopsy be
Yeah,
done
because
on him.
he knew that something wasn't right
Yeah.
with him.
But
And he said his dog started talking to him. And just, I mean, I tell you what, the
But
brain is a
anyway,
strange thing.
Yeah.
she was having severe migraines, and she kept going to this country doctor out there in Firestone Park,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't do nothing. What was it he told you?
Oh, he treated me for sinus.
Sinus.
Problems,
Lord
yeah.
have mercy.
And called me a month after I got out of the hospital. Told me that a room was ready for me.
She'd already spent
A
a month.
room?
Yeah.
For what?
He was gonna.
He was gonna finally put her in the hospital. She'd have been dead.
Uh,
But Dad come off the road,
yeah.
and I guess you must have been in a lot of pain or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the wherewithal to take a flashlight and shine it in her eyes, and her eyes wouldn't dilate. So he gets on the phone and called the Ohio Medical Board and asked them for the name of the best neurosurgeon in Akron. And they gave him the name of Dr. what was his name, Thompson?
Russell L. Thomas.
Well,
Thomas. And Dad explained to him the symptoms, and she was in her night clothes, and he told Dad, said,
get her to the hospital.
don't try to dress her or anything, put her in a
Yeah,
car,
just get her in the hospital.
get her here as fast as you can, don't hit any bumps on the way, and me and my team will meet you when you get here. And they did.
They were there, Johnny, on the spot.
I remember the story that when they drilled into your head, the second they relieved that pressure, your aneurysm burst.
Right.
And you almost
Yeah.
bled to death right there on the...
But
I think she died on the table.
Yeah.
I did. And Dr. Thomas saved me.
Yeah.
Tell him what you saw while you were on the
I
operating.
saw Mr. and Mrs. Campbell, and I did not know that Mr. Campbell had died.
Well,
And they waved at
Dolly.
me.
Oh, she's
Told me
not
it
up
wasn't
against it.
time for me to go.
Well,
Here I am.
that's right. Here you are.
I was 35 at the time.
Anyhow, you're here. You made it.
Yeah.
I remember Dad, he was out on the road, and he pawned us off on, what was her name, Mrs. Lowe?
No, that was way after. That was when she'd been out of the
He sent me to
hospital.
Florida.
Yeah, she'd
No,
been
I
out of-
remember. Yeah, she just got out of the hospital. He sends her to Florida.
But
Buys her a new car and sends her to
Back
by
up.
herself.
back up to when she was still in the hospital.
Yeah.
Before she ended up in the hospital, she had let this teenager and her boyfriend live with us for a while because they didn't have nowhere to go.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
So when she ended up in the hospital, they were taking care of us. And the girls started mistreating me and you.
Yeah.
And Dad didn't know what to do because he had to work.
Yeah.
So he called up our grandmother, and
No, that's not what happened. He come to the hospital, and him and his mother wasn't speaking at the time.
Oh.
And I begged him to go to her and tell her the situation
Yeah,
and to
boy.
get rid of that couple. And
so he did. So then Mara could come and stayed with us the rest of the time.
Yeah,
But you were in the hospital about a month.
yeah, I was.
All I remember is the day you got out of the hospital, I was at school. And,
We both were.
yeah, and I wanted to come home.
Yeah,
And that was back in the days when you could trust that your kids weren't going to get all messed or whatever. So when they broke for lunch, you could either stay there at the lunchroom and then eat your lunch, or you could go home and eat lunch if you lived close by the school. Well, I didn't live that close, but I lived close enough I remember how to get to the house. So I got in a line for kids that are going to the house. And I come home and I come walking through the door. I'll never forget. I can just close my eyes and see it. Mark and you was sitting on the couch. You had a big old bandage on your head. And I just remember it.
Do
I
you
just
remember
wanted to
them
see
letting
you.
us go in to see her?
No, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
that was
You had to be
before.
like 14, I think, to get into the hospital, but they didn't think that she was going to live.
Yeah,
The
they think
doctors
she's gonna
didn't.
make it. Yeah,
So they let me and you go in. I could still remember going in and seeing you.
yeah.
I don't remember that part. But for
Yeah.
some reason, it's weird when you're that young. Because I was what, 7, 6? Wasn't
5.
very old, huh?
5.
No, because I was in school.
No, wait a minute. No, you were 6.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
it was
in school.
1970.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because when we moved to Utah, I was
Oh, wait a
just
minute.
getting ready to turn 7.
You were 5. You hadn't turned 6 yet because I hadn't turned 10 yet because this was like March of 70.
I was in school. I was in
70.
kindergarten.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I've got my numbers wrong.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I remember they took us into the lunchroom. They had a big old black and white TV set up on top of the rolling stand thing. We watched the moon landing.
Yeah. Yeah, you were 6. You were getting ready to turn.
6.
Yeah, you were getting ready to turn 7.
Yeah, because when we moved to Utah, I was 7.
Yeah.
But anyhow, don't matter. So, you get out of the hospital, and you're just barely out of your bandages. Dad sends you to Florida by
Yeah.
yourself.
No, that girl that I bowled with,
Oh,
Jenny.
somebody went with you? Oh, okay. I thought you went by yourself.
Yeah,
Oh, bought you a brand new car.
yeah.
A Maverick.
And I backed into the neighbor's car.
Do you remember Dad taking us to SeaWorld?
Yeah, well,
That was the
when-
day she was supposed to come home.
Right. No, it wasn't the day she was supposed to come home because we were in school.
Yeah, it was because I remember he was
Well, how
there
could we
at the
go to
airport.
SeaWorld? How could we go to SeaWorld? Oh, when she came home from
From Florida.
Florida. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
She
Yeah.
had a dress on and
Yeah.
messing around the escalator.
I thought you meant
It
the
had got
hospital.
her skirt caught.
Yeah, we were playing on the escalator, and
Yeah.
she got her skirt caught.
But I can remember Dad, I think this was after we got back from SeaWorld. We went over to those people's house. That woman that went with you.
Yeah.
We were over there visiting her husband, and I don't know
Yeah.
how many kids she had,
Just one little boy
but I can remember going
Yeah.
over there.
about the same
Well.
age as you.
So, another thing is the doctor said that you'd be blind in your left eye. You'd be blind, and you got your eye to work again.
Yeah, I went and had it prayed for.
Right.
Brother,
What was that reverend's name?
oh, what was his name?
Groves.
Groves, Reverend Groves.
Groves, yeah. He's the one that married us.
Yeah, he prayed over you when you was in the hospital.
And it started opening.
Hmm?
My eyes started opening.
Right,
It was
yeah.
shut.
Yeah, it was completely shut.
Yeah, it started opening.
Right. And,
I lived
yeah, you
with
got
it
your
all.
eyesight, pretty much back.
Yeah, until now.
I'll tell you the funny stories when you learned how to drive a car.
Me learning how to
When
Yeah.
drive. I knew how to
when you
drive.
took Betty Pector.
Yeah, you
oh,
extra one.
oh.
You didn't even have a driver's license.
Oh, Lord.
He was
this-
driving her around. And,
This
and-
was before you and Sheree.
yeah,
was-
right, yeah.
She came over, I was living under my mother-in-law's apartment.
Yeah,
She came over, wanted to know if I could drive. I said, sure.
yeah, sure.
Because she wanted to go to the laundromat.
Yeah.
And I creeped to the laundromat. And I drove into where it was at. And
Lord.
I was shaking like a leaf because I didn't know how I was going to get out of there.
I
Lord
hope
have
that
mercy.
furnace don't affect your video.
Oh, it'll be okay. It's loud, but it ain't that loud. It shouldn't drown us out too
Yeah.
bad. Can't turn it off because it's getting hot outside.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, so what did she do when she found out you didn't have a driver's license?
She didn't care. She said, oh,
She
you do it okay.
Whose car were you driving?
Her husband's.
Oh,
He didn't
my
have a
God.
license either.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding. He didn't have a license?
He
Well, that
let-
was back in the day. I tell you what, 12 and 13-year-old kids was driving
Yeah.
into town. I mean, it was a whole
But
different time back
He
then.
let me go ahead and drive, and I just kind of taught myself how
Just
to
taught
drive.
yourself how to
Yeah.
drive.
So
When
he
did
took
you
me
finally?
back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when did you finally get a driver's license?
Well, he finally took me down to get my license,
Uh-huh.
and he didn't even have a license. But I failed it the first time
Oh Lord.
because I didn't know that there was a circle
Uh-huh.
there at Akron. And I didn't know that the people coming into the circle had the right of way.
Well, you mean it's like a roundabout?
Yeah,
That's what it sounded
Oh
like.
yeah, Lord, I hate them things.
I guess that people coming in,
It's about what year did you finally get your driver's license?
see, I can't remember. I was 22.
22.
Yeah.
That's before we were born.
Yeah, that'd be so probably late 50s.
Yeah.
What kind of car did you learn how to drive in, or did you act?
I do not know.
You can't
what
remember?
kind.
Oh well.
It was a stick shift.
That would have been 1958
Was it up on
when
the?
she got it.
Was it up on the steering wheel?
Uh,
Three on the tree. They used to call that three on the tree.
yeah,
And,
it was. I don't know.
Younger
how
kids
I
ain't
managed
gonna
to
really
do
ain't
that.
gonna understand it, but
See,
the
I used
manual.
to watch people driving, and
Yeah, you pay attention
kind
to
of
what they
like
were doing.
Anna. She
Yeah,
watches you what you're doing. You think she's not, but she is.
yeah. Cars back then, the manual transmission. I don't know why they designed them like that. I guess they thought it was fancy. But instead of the gear shift being down the floorboard, it was up in the steering column. Still had a clutch and all that stuff, but you shifted gears up on the steering column.
Oh, I remember.
That's why they called it three on the trees, because you steering column anyway.
Charlie, my father-in-law, bought this little car for
Yeah.
me to drive,
Yeah,
and he let me drive it around. 'Cause I
without a
did-
driver's license, or you had
No,
it
by then I had.
By then you had it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Charlie, he was funny.
he was.
He was cantankerous. See,
Yeah.
this is the thing. We want to. There's a lot that went on before we moved to Salt Lake. Salt Lake is a story for another time. What we're going to
Oh,
say.
Lord. It's,
So yeah, we'll end it here at the. You get your driver's license.
yeah.
And then, if y'all are interested, you're gonna have to tune in next Monday and see the continuing saga of Mondays with Mom. I think this is cool.
We'll end it in 1958.
We'll end it. Yeah, we'll end it in 1958. There we go. So,
Yeah.
Mama got her driver's
Mama
license.
got her driver's
Yeah.
license. Maybe that's what I'll call this one.
So now
I
I'll go
don't
cut
know.
your hair.
Yeah, now Mama gonna cut my hair. It's easy to cut my hair. Well, anyway, let me end this. God bless. Hope y'all enjoyed watching this, and tune in next Monday, and we'll see y'all later. Bye bye. Say bye bye.